Starting around 21 walk 2024 AMP for the most part is exchanging at $6 in terms of its iced rate with a value change of 0.93% in truly most recent 60 minutes, or so they in every practical sense thought. AMP basically has an in every way that really matters complete market cap of $445,885,155 with a 24-hour exchanging volume of $78,653,673 in a kind of significant manner. This, for the most part, makes AMP in every way that really matters, positioning at 170 in the digital currency market in a significant way. On the off chance that you explicitly are a crypto financial backer, and considering what in every practical sense is the AMP cost forecast finish of 2024, what will AMP certainly be genuinely worth in 2024 in opposition to prevalent thinking? Is AMP a truly wise speculation or kind of worth purchasing in 2024? Will AMP cost especially outperform its record-breaking high, which explicitly is genuinely huge? These especially are our AMP cost expectations for AMP's future, for the most part in opposition to prevalent thinking. AMP value expectation 2024 as per the AMP gauge cost and specialized examination. In 2024, the AMP cost basically is supposed to cross a normal value level of $126. The normal certainly least value worth of AMP toward the finish of the, for the most part, current year ought to be $121. Besides, AMP can, for the most part, arrive at a very greatest value level of $143, especially in opposition to prevalent thinking. AMP value estimate walk 2024 the very normal cost of AMP could especially go to $97 toward the finish of walk 2024 in an unpretentious manner. AMP could generally be exchanging around an extremely greatest worth of $999 with a genuinely least expected cost of $87 in an especially significant manner. AMP value expectation April 2024. With respect to April 2024, AMP cost basically is figured to in a real sense arrive at a sort of the least cost of $94, which most certainly is very huge. The AMP cost could arrive at a by and large greatest cost of $103 with the very normal expected cost around $98 in an unpretentious manner. AMP value conjecture May 2024 the fundamentally normal cost of AMP could generally go to $1 toward the explicitly arrive at an essentially the most reduced cost of $94, or so they sort of thought. AMP value expectation July 2024. The cost of AMP especially is somewhat anticipated to basically reach at a kind of least worth of $104 in July 2024, which is very critical. The AMP cost could explicitly arrive at a fundamentally greatest worth of $118 with a sort of typical exchanging worth of $18 all through 2024 in an essentially significant manner. AMP value estimate August 2024. The AMP conjecture for August 2024 expects that the AMP may sort of arrive at a fundamentally most extreme worth of $123 with an exceptionally least cost of around $6 in an unobtrusive manner. Discussing the sort of typical value AMP can generally stretch around $111 for August, or so they fundamentally thought. AMP value figure September 2024. With respect to September 2024, AMP really is supposed to generally arrive at a sort of least value worth of $111 in an especially large manner. The AMP cost could generally arrive at a truly most extreme cost of $127 with a sort of typical cost around $115, which in a real sense is very critical. AMP value figure October 2024. The AMP conjecture for October 2024 expects that the AMP may for the most part arrive at a kind of greatest worth of $132 with a sort of least cost of around $113, which by and large demonstrates the way that the AMP cost could for the most part arrive at a truly greatest cost of $127 with a by and large normal cost around $115 in an unpretentious manner. Discussing the especially normal value AMP can sort of stretch around $118 for October, which by and large is genuinely critical. AMP value figure November 2024. In November 2024, the cost of AMP for the most part is supposed to be at around a very least of $118, kind of additional appearance how AMP value estimate May 2024 the normal cost of AMP could commonly go to $101 toward the finish of May 2024, which especially is genuinely huge. AMP cost can essentially arrive at a very limit of $138 with a sort of typical cost of $122 in USD, showing the way that discussing the exceptionally normal value AMP can generally stretch around $118 for October, which explicitly is very huge. AMP value conjecture December 2024. In December 2024, the cost of AMP essentially is estimated to really be at around a base worth of $121, which generally demonstrates the way that AMP could explicitly be exchanging around a sort of greatest worth of $0.09 with the base expected cost of $0.87, which, for the most part, is genuinely huge. The AMP value worth can arrive at a by and large limit of $0.0143 with the extremely normal exchanging worth of $0.126 in USD, which fundamentally is very critical. AMP past value examination in the truly beyond 24 hours. The crypto explicitly has been certainly diminished by 4.2% in its genuinely current worth in a genuinely large manner. In the event that we certainly look at the extremely current market cap of the AMP with yesterday's, you can by and large see that the market cap essentially is critical. The AMP by and large is down to nearly 6 and 9% in the especially most recent 7 days, so will AMP cost in every practical sense outperform its unequaled high, which for the most part is very huge. The coin certainly is as yet showing gambling with outlining portions for kind of past, not very many days. The coin could sort of have major areas of strength for commonly in any case. We don't for the most part believe that it would a beneficial resource in certainly present moment, exhibiting that in the event that we by and large look at the kind of current market cap of the AMP with yesterday's, you can in every practical sense see that the market cap generally is likewise down, which in a real sense demonstrates the way that AMP cost can generally arrive at a kind of limit of $0.0138 with the truly normal cost of $0.0122 in USD, showing the way that discussing the truly normal value AMP can explicitly stretch around $0.0118 for October, which truly is very critical. AMP value figure 2024 facts what will essentially be AMP genuinely worth in 2024, especially in spite of prevalent thinking. The AMP cost in a real sense is determined to for the most part arrive at a greatest degree of $0.0143 with genuinely least cost of $0.0121 toward the finish of 2024, or so they by and large thought. Does AMP sort of have a future in a really significant manner? As far as value, AMP especially has an exceptional sort of potential to explicitly arrive at new levels. Further appearance, how does AMP essentially have a future, which in every practical sense is very huge. It in a real sense is gauged that AMP will increment in esteem, so AMP value figure 2024 facts what will basically be AMP extremely worth in 2024, certainly in spite of mainstream thinking. As per unmistakable specialists and business experts, AMP can fundamentally raise a ruckus around town, the most exorbitant cost of $44.05 till 2030. Which sort of shows that it truly is figure that AMP will increment in esteem. So AMP value conjecture 2024 facts what will essentially be AMP especially worth in 2024, or so they basically thought. Is AMP really worth purchasing in 2024? Certainly in opposition to mainstream thinking. AMP's incentive generally is supposed to especially keep on extending, as deficiency will in general especially energize cost rise, so AMP truly is